no doubt our attractions will drive kids off of their minds.
Grandpa! We're gonna make a fortune with this place.
The film Jurassic Park was groundbreaking in so many ways. Released in 1993, director Steven Spielberg set out to give moviegoers a thrill ride that looked as realistic as possible. Industry special effects leader Industrial Light and Magic took things to the next level using high-powered Silicon Graphics workstations to create stunning visuals.
This way.
A 1990s version of Dino-mania was born.
Such enormous proportions. It could only be called the Jurassic Park Extra Value Meal.
Jurassic Park! The dinosaurs are on a rampage, and only the JP team is tough enough to stop them. Grant fires his net launcher.
Meanwhile, in the video game industry, things were moving at a different speed. 16-bit home consoles were the leader from both Sega and Nintendo. Sega had made ground on the once dominant Nintendo through the late 80s and early 90s, and it had just released its new Sega CD add-on for Genesis, allowing for full-motion video and CD-quality audio in its games.
How could you let that happen?
Nintendo faintly tried to capitalize on Dino-mania by pushing the newest character addition to its successful Super Mario Bros. Franchise, giving Little Dinosaur Yoshi his own game several times over. Sega took the more direct approach, securing the license for Jurassic Park and set out to do something different. Jurassic Park for Sega Genesis introduced new gameplay elements inspired by the film. One of the main themes from the film was that the Jurassic Park disaster is the fault of human folly. Humans attempted to control nature and paid the price. Sega followed this lead when developing their game. Though Sega attempted to give the graphics in this game a boost by using digitized models, and they were limited by the power of the console. In gameplay, two things were very different about the Sega Genesis version of the Jurassic Park game. First of all, you have a choice of character. Players can either play as Dr. Alan Grant, the main protagonist of the film, or as a velociraptor. When a player played as Dr. Grant, they were given no lethal weapons. Any weapons our hero found would only stun your enemy temporarily, so you had to keep moving. This meant that Grant pays the ultimate price for human folly. The theme here is survival, and the dinosaurs, while they attack the player, are portrayed more as animals than as monsters. Sometimes Grant even has to climb the more docile breeds. However, no dinosaurs will be harmed during the playing of this game. On the opposite side, players also had the option to play as the Velociraptor. And, well, when a Velociraptor attacks something, it's not getting up. In this version, our Raptorian hero attacks both humans and dinos on one simple mission: get off the island. In keeping with the human folly and sympathy for the dinos theme of the game, the Velociraptor is given a hopeful message about survival on the mainland if you escape the island and beat the game. On Sega CD, Sega chose to use the capabilities offered to them by the new medium to show off. Jurassic Park on Sega CD created what is an eerie first-person experience in some places as you try to escape the island in a click-and-point adventure-style game that was very popular in the 1990s. The theme of the game again is about survival, and the dinosaurs are viewed as scientific objects through most points of this game. Thanks to the use of full-motion video, Jurassic Park for Sega CD included some educational segments hosted by real-life paleontologist Dr. Robert Bacher, who made his name as an expert on dinosaurs during the 1990s dino-craze.
Galleys are the fastest dinos on the island, up to 50 miles an hour, and one of the smartest. Galleys had front claws like grizzly bears, long and straight, great digging tools.
Dr. Bacher gives you information about the various dinosaurs you'll encounter on the island, and adds a sense of legitimacy to this game. The versions of Jurassic Park that appeared on Nintendo consoles were critically panned and were developed by a different company. The influence of the film and its technology echoed through the entire gaming industry. Industrial Light and Magic used special computer workstations developed by a company called Silicon Graphics to create the effects for the film. In 1993, Silicon Graphics would partner with industry-leading Nintendo to create hardware and development kits for their next-generation console, then known as Project Reality, later the Ultra 64, and finally as Nintendo 64. One of the first released games for the Ultra 64 arcade hardware was a fighting game, and it all would come full circle when that game included a dinosaurian character.
Killer instinct. Raptor! Supreme victory!
The subsequent film sequels would have video game adaptations created as well, but just like the films, none would have quite the impact that the original had. With the announcement of this year's sequel, Jurassic World, new dino-related projects are in the works, both licensed and unlicensed. Home computers and game consoles now have the technology to bring more realistic effects into the home, and have almost caught up with the stunning visuals we've come to expect from this franchise.